Chapter 1133.
Yeah. One of those sentimental, moving chapters that we get every now and again. A lot of people cried apparently from this chapter.
Did you cry?
Not on camera.
You had to turn it off. Oh, guys, my camera's malfunctioning. Sorry.
Things just lagging. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let me
actually,
wipe the lens.
I think the last time I cried, because this chapter didn't actually make me cry because I think it telegraphed a lot, right? Because it prepared you for the meeting. Because it's like they had, okay, Robin, we're about to go meet Saul. We're going over. So it's like you could prepare. I think the chapter that caught me off guard with the last one that actually I really did come off stream for a while was the Kuma chapter.
Same.
Because I wasn't prepared for that. It was just like, oh, we're going through this, and it's oh shit, like
he's dead.
He's dead. But he's back. He's not dead.
He's been here all along.
And he's smiling.
He's just a robot.
Like, where is he? Just on the ship, just left him?
Dude, we do not see him the entire chapter. Like, what does he do? Like, do you think they're gonna invite him to the feast? Like, I've been saying that he might be like a weekend at Bernie's situation where they just lug around his dead body.
Or maybe he's just like a doll, that smiles. And so, like, when she goes to sleep, he's just there sitting.
That'd be scary.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, he should be dead.
Yeah,
right now.
unless
he can't
Lilith
do
can bring him back.
Which
Because there's
I don't
technology
want.
here.
You think he should be dead?
I mean, I think he should be dead. But I wouldn't be shocked if they bring him back somehow. Because like Buccaneers have this weird special thing that we never got revealed to. So maybe that's like a hint that his spirit is still in the vicinity. I don't know. I don't know how it works. If this is Slime Isekai, we got that figured out, but here in One Piece, I'm not too sure how souls work yet.
I know you remember the heated debate from the last Reverie about death.
Oh God!
And
oh God! Yeah, I remember that.
It got kind of crazy. You got me to thinking. Do you think that with the Kuma chapter, with him still being around, if you revisit that chapter, does it still hit the same?
Does it still hit the same? For the most part, yeah. I think it would hit like 80% the same, but there is that 20% where it's like, I mean, he's still here.
He's still here.
Like he's still like in the background somewhere. He's hanging out. And then like people like us, like we're talking about like, oh, is he gonna come back? Is he dead? Like we have no idea yet.
So I guess
it hit, but
with the Saul chapter, I don't know how often you go back and reread the O'Hara flashback. I mean, we get it every now and again, but like reread that original with like everything happening. Because I'm seeing a lot of discussion on Twitter about Saul and him being alive, whether he should be alive, etc.
Yeah.
Should he be dead? Like, does it impact Robin's moment back then?
Saul is different. Very different from Kuma because he's not like in this weird state of comatose. I do like Saul's return. I feel like Robin's character has come full circle. She's grown a lot without Saul. It feels the opposite where, Robin saw Saul get frozen and then she brought his, frozen corpse with her the entire journey. That's a little bit different from what's happening here. So Robin reuniting with Saul after 22 years, I think is great. Should he be dead? Probably, but I think it was still a really wholesome moment, even though he survived.
Saul doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah. It's like a weird double standard, but there is a lot of nuance to the Saul versus Kuma situation.
Here's what I wonder about.
Yeah.
Was this always the plan for Saul to come back, or was Oda like, Robin deserves somebody? Because everybody, for the most part on the Straw Hats, have somebody left.
Yeah.
Like even for Chopper with Dr. Kureha, Frankie has like Tom and those guys. Usopp has his squad and Kaya. Robin had nobody, like really nobody to return to for the most part. It was just all memories. So it's like, did Oda bring her back or him back for that purpose? I don't really care about it as much because I think it's a good moment.
Yeah.
And honestly, how they describe it, it wasn't really Aokiji's doing, but it doesn't make him look as
dastardly.
Because he could have killed him. He could have really just killed him.
Oh, 100%.
But he just froze him. But it's like he didn't. It's not Aokiji saying, I'm going to put you in a time capsule so that you're going to thaw out at the right time. That's not what it is. That's not how Saul describes it. He's like, yo, just the fire thawed me out. I fell in the water and I happened to just live. Or do you think it was on purpose by Kuzan?
I think it was 50-50. I think Kuzan might have left it to chance. And I think this kind of goes back to like, did Oda plan this right? I think he might have, just because the naming of Aokiji's attack is so specific, right? Ice time capsule. We've seen before that Aokiji has frozen people and he doesn't say a damn word. Filler, but Cracker was a thing. Aokiji versus Luffy and the Straw Hats, he froze them and he didn't say a thing. Like he only said something when he froze Saul. So I really think that Yeah, I really think that this might have been planned the entire time, or maybe Oda didn't plan this and he just kept Saul in his back pocket in case he wanted to either kill him later and, you know, talk more about it, or if he wanted to bring him back. I think he kept him in like the gray zone.
How do you feel if Kuzan's justice changed to that? Like, where it's just about chance.
Gambling justice, yeah. He feels like Fujitora's.
Yeah, well, what is Fuji's? Isn't it
Fuji's
blind justice?
I think blind justice is what everybody likes, but I don't think that's it. I think it might be like honorable justice.
Yeah, because it's not as, or maybe I just don't remember it.
Yeah, let me see. Fujitora's justice, honorable justice. Yeah, honorable justice. Blind justice goes really well with this character, but that might have been too on the nose.
Yeah, but blind justice, because what does that even mean? That means that like you don't see anything, you just see justice. Yeah, it's just all about justice. Then you're kind of close to Akainu, then, you know?
Yeah, or like you choose when to close your eyes, right?
Yeah,
selective justice. That's a pretty bad one. That's selective justice.
Feels like Green Bull.
Yeah,
or Green Bull is just racist justice. Nah,
I think it's like deadly or determined justice. Yeah,
something weird. I do like the gambling justice though, where it's just like, all right, I guess we'll see if your will or just chance favors you, and see how that goes. You know, kind of flip a coin. Let
fate decide it.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, that's how Aokiji was moving the entirety of pre-time skip. Because even after he caught the Straw Hats again, he's like, let's see where it goes. Then after in his lobby, he was there and he's like, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, like even the Spandam thing, right? Because Spandam was like, oh, Aokiji gave me this Buster Call snail. And then Aokiji's just hanging out in the background like, oh, I mean, if they survive it, they survive it. I'm not going to really do anything.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, let's see how it goes if it's their will, you know?
Yeah.
Which makes him such an interesting character. I can't wait to see what Oda does with him. But I guess for the chapter, it's pretty straightforward. The Straw Hats reunite, which happened pretty quickly. How do you feel about that? Them reuniting rather quickly and jumping to meeting Saul, like an entire chapter dedicated to that.
It feels like Oda's picking up the pace.
Yeah.
You know, coming into this chapter after 2 weeks, Oda did apologize for taking so many breaks. He said, hey guys, I'm gonna get right back to it. And I think this is him showing that, right? Like, hey, you know, I'm making up for lost time. Maybe he wants to get to a specific chapter for a specific time of year. Yeah. And that's what we have this right here. That is really fast paced. One good example is, like you said, the Straw Hats met up. And also, we see that they're about to feast, right? Robin says, hey, Luffy. And then we cut away and then we come back and it's like, you know, you get the gist of the conversation. Now you like cut all of that out.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see that Oda's trying to speed it up a little bit. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Hopefully we get more Saul next chapter and just, you know, explanations, the Owl Library, what he's been doing. Or who knows, maybe we just go back to the feast and we skip all this. I feel like it could go either way.
And he gives it to us in flashback in pieces.
Yeah. Or maybe like how at the bar.
How he's been moving, it seems like he probably gives us the explanation next week. Like, hey, this is what I've been doing, and like here's the issue in Elbaf.
Yeah.
Because then it's like we're getting right to it. People were basically saying Saul is the man with the burn scar. Confirmed?
No.
I'm like, this doesn't change anything to me.
We learned nothing new, right?
We knew that he was burned. Yes, he's gonna have scars. They're like, he has burn scars. See, I'm like, what?
He had burn scars since day one. Like the minute we learned that he was alive, burn scars, right?
Yeah.
Like we knew that back on Egghead. So that's why I think this chapter doesn't change a single thing about Saul. You know, we didn't see a black ship. We didn't see whirlpools. We didn't see, like the world government connection. Technically, he was a part of the Marines, but that's kind of like a nuanced point. But yeah, like there's nothing here that says that he is that guy yet. He could be, but we didn't learn anything.
I think we have to, sometimes people think of a man with a burn scar and they just think of a man with the burn scar. Well, there are other parts to it. Like he has to, one, have the poneglyph, and either he hid the actual poneglyph or he has the actual poneglyph. It's not a rubbing. The poneglyph is missing. Like the poneglyph we presume that was on Fishman Island is missing. So somebody picked up the poneglyph.
And
like not many people can do that. And so a giant makes sense that could possibly do it. Obviously Shiki. And, you know, I know Dragon was a popular one because of his wind and all that. But for me, I don't think Saul doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's just Saul, like he's been barely surviving this entire time trying to do it. Like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Brother's a researcher too, right? It would be weird if he went down to Fishman Island and only took one poneglyph, because there's one right next to it. There's two. It was a blue one and a red one. Why only
not
take the
both?
red one? Why not take... Yeah, exactly. He's a giant. He could just, you know, pick it up and go.
This tells me some more. The person that took the poneglyph is aware of what the poneglyphs are.
Yeah.
And understands like this might be the last one that they're searching for. So there has to be somebody with learned history and understanding of Laugh-Tale.
100%.
So then that narrows it down a lot to somebody on Rox's crew or somebody on Roger's crew.
Or somebody from that era in general.
The thing is, it's just like, how much did people know about like those specific things, you know? Because it's like the Straw Hats made it all the way that they made it to. They didn't know anything. Nobody knew anything about poneglyphs. They got to the New World, right? To Zoe. Then they found out about it randomly from the Minks because the Minks liked them. Like,
and Robin didn't even know. She was shocked when she saw it.
And
she's a researcher.
She's probably the best in the world. And she was traveling since she was a kid and she knew nothing about it. So it's like the group of people that could know about this and be the man with the burn scar that's kind of basically holding people. I just thought about something.
What's up? You like stop mid-sentence. Who is it?
Okay. It just feels like something Shanks would do.
Does it feel like something Shanks would do? Yes. It does. I mean, it does, but just it doesn't add up yet, right? The black ship. World government. Well, world government could work because he is a celestial dragon. But you know,
but this is that black ship man with burn scar. A plant. Propaganda bullshit.
So he planted that rumor, is what you're saying?
Maybe, but it's like, bro, when we just broke it down as far as the people it could be, it's not that many people it could be. And based on how Shanks has been moving, it's like, how do I control what happens? I control what happens by having the final piece that everyone would need.
That's not bad. I mean, I saw a comment the other day, and I didn't have a good answer as to who the man marked by flames was, but this comment, it opened my eyes to a horizon of new possibilities. And by that, I mean one person. They said it might be Tom, and I thought that was a little bit silly. But we did never see Tom get executed, and in a weird way, Tom kind of fits in this genre where he knows about Laugh-Tale to an extent, right? He helped Roger build his ship. He helped him get to Laugh-Tale in that regard. But also, he worked for the world government, and the black ship with the whirlpools that they talked about, that could just be Pluton, because Tom does have the blueprints for it, or at least he held on to them for a long time. So I think that's a solid option, but of course, we'd have to do the whole Saul thing where, hey, he's dead, he's alive. And then, you know, would the community like another character coming back in that regard? I don't know, but that's where I'm at right now. I like Shanks, though, but the propaganda is going to have to be explained because that's a lot of motion. Like, for multiple characters to think that it's Shanks or to think that it's some mysterious man that doesn't exist, that's nuts.
Well, the entire One Piece world thought that Robin was a devil that could destroy an entire island by herself.
True, but the world government made that rumor, though. Like, Shanks is a pirate. He has connections, but
remember,
I don't think he can do
Shanks. Remember, Shanks can influence what gets out there because he went to the Gurus and was like, "Hey, I want to tell you about a certain pirate."
Yeah,
right. And if the world government finds out, why would they? Well, I don't think they're the ones behind it. I just think he used them. It's almost like Dofi when they.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, almost like Dofi when he used the world government to kind of influence where Law was like, "Oh, damn, Doflamingo resigned." He's like, no, just planted information because of the pull he has. And Shanks is actually a celestial dragon. Oh, I have a man you should be worried about. It's a man. He has the final poneglyph, and he's a man with a burn scar. So then you're chasing a ghost.
That would be crazy. That's some crazy gatekeeping, don't you think?
I mean, Shanks is the ultimate gatekeeper.
But here's the thing. How would Luffy... I mean, I guess if they reunite, Shanks could say,
imagine,
hey,
right?
Here you go. You're a great pirate.
But imagine it's like... You have to find a man with a burn scar. Shanks plants some information for Luffy, for Blackbeard, whomever. Luffy finds him first. He gets a copy of the rubbing. And that's where Blackbeard shows up after the fact. It was like, I figured it was you. You know, and it's just like Shanks is like the final person that's literally there to test whomever is going to find the One Piece. So he kind of has to have it.
And the timeline kind of matches up too. Like we're still like very iffy on Shanks' timeline, but maybe it was after he lost the not lost the Blackbeard, but after he got scarred by Blackbeard, and he was like, "Oh, if this guy is going after the One Piece, I gotta stop that. Let me just take a poneglyph and just hide it for myself."
How do you? Because then here's the thing. For Fishman Island.
Yeah.
When do you go there and take it?
I feel like it's, in a way, like so many people walk by it. It's like a Buc-ee's in Texas, you know? Like, if you want to get to the New World, you have to go through Fishman Island or above the Red Line. You can't go above the Red Line if you're a pirate. So every pirate worth their salt goes through Fishman Island and probably sees the Red Poneglyph if they just explore. It's in the Sea Forest. That's not that far from the island. So, like, I guess feel like a lot of people will find it.
So,
or, like,
for one, the people that would find it is a certain type of person, because I would explorers. Because I would assume most pirates, the traditional pirates, they come to the One Piece world or just an island, and do you have food? Do you have treasure? Do you have women?
I'm out.
It's like, I'm out, right? It's just a stop. If you're truly an explorer and you're trying to figure out more, hey, what's around here? Oh, there's a sea forest. There's a junkyard. Those are the people that would find it. So that's why it's like, it starts to make more sense when Roger's like, you're not the man that Roger's waiting for, because you're not going to find the One Piece if you're not that type of person.
Yeah,
you
have to just,
you have to be that type of person. So it's like, the more I think about it, bro, because I was like narrowing it down. I'm just like, wait, bro, it's not many people should know about this. Of course, Shiki could be one, but then it's like, you'd have to kind of figure out how Oda's going to intertwine his entire storyline. If Shanks is the last man standing with the final poneglyph,
that's a hell of a gatekeep.
Because a burn scar could just be red scar.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, right? I like Roger's crew being an option, right? You're talking about Shanks. I think Scopper also fits in that category. And one of the reasons why I think it's not a bad idea is because of what Whitebeard said to Blackbeard at Marineford. He said, hey, you're not the one Roger's waiting for. So it seems like Roger knows who he wants to get the One Piece, right? He has a certain criteria. Blackbeard doesn't meet it. So since that's the case, I would assume that all of the Roger crew feels the same way. Shanks probably feels the same way. Scopper, Rayleigh, like they don't want somebody who's unworthy to find their quote captain's treasure.
So they're sailing around with it.
Yeah.
So Scopper has a burn scar.
I mean, crazy.
He'd have to be the one that's, like, why isn't Rayleigh participating then? Is he just the one to train the next up?
Maybe they just went different ways. We've seen before that when crews separate, they just kind of do their own thing.
Isn't
like
that
Neo Mads is a good example, right? Like Caesar went off to Punk Hazard. Judge over here started breeding kids.
And Queen
joined Kaido. Like the minute
that's
a crew
crazy.
disbands, they don't have to hang around anymore. They can just go their separate ways. Like Buggy and Shanks, for example, man, they do two different paths.
But Neo Mads didn't really like each other, right? Because they were kind of copying which one?
Like Judge, Caesar, and Queen. Like they were ganging up on Vegapunk every chance they got, just laughing at him.
But weren't they like at odds with each other from when we saw from the pictures? Where it was just like they were
like friendly
kind of
competition.
Yeah. So it was just like
fair. After
you leave, it's like I don't have anything to do with you.
Another example would be the Whitebeard pirates, right? They disbanded and now they're all living on different islands. It could be like that.
Embarrassed.
What's
I
up?
They're embarrassed. I think they're embarrassed.
Because they lost to Blackbeard in the Revenge War? Dude, that is shameful.
They didn't lose to Blackbeard. They got embarrassed by Blackbeard. Because the story tells us that they got overwhelmed. It wasn't even close.
That's
imagine
awful,
your dad gets killed and you have to come together to try to band against the guy who does it, and you get eradicated.
Yeah, it's like you have a drunk dad beating the mom, and then one day you're like, I'm gonna stand up for my mom, and then the dad beats you too. It's like, oh
yeah,
God.
It's like, fuck.
That's so sad.
I just gotta take this. It's like you just run away. So you just run away. So like for each of those pirates are just like in one corner of the world, just drinking every day, just sad because Blackbeard is now a fully fledged Yonko,
making moves,
Billionberry, making moves, has a pirate island. You're like, fuck.
And then you hear news like every day about how Blackbeard's progressing. Like, Wang Ji, for example, right? Rocky Port and how he took over Hachinosu. Like, I bet the Roger Pirates didn't like Wang Ji, but they knew him. They fought their crew. So I like to imagine you pick up the newspaper and you're like, oh, he killed my old foe. Like, what is he like? He's running through the history logs, man. And
you're your failed attempt of revenge. You're just there, just sulking.
Yeah,
so
just
I understand them not coming
glory.
together. Buggy and Shanks. Buggy hates Shanks. Well, hated Shanks because of
Shanks' potential.
His potential and his lack of usage with it. Where he's like, you have what it takes to become Pirate King. I'm not sure if you saw, like, somebody had a thing on Twitter where they showed an anime scene where everyone was congratulating Shanks, like a lot of the adults, and is the Buggy scene, and Buggy's looking at him, and people are like, is this the first time he used Kamusari? Remember Oda said that he was able to use it without any direction from Roger. He just copied it. And it's funny because Oda says that, and then I remember I mentioned it in a video, and people were like, yeah, but I'm sure Rayleigh could do it. It's just a sword slash. And like, but he specifically said no other Roger pirate could do it. Rayleigh's a Roger
pirate. That's like saying
pirate.
Anybody with 3 swords can do like an Onigiri or Dragon Twister. You know what I mean?
It's just, I think the whole point of this, what Oda was saying about Shanks is that he's special.
Yeah,
that he's special.
He's a prodigy.
And again, for Buggy for the most part, once you take away like the humor and he's serious, he's a realist. and he understands what things are. And he said, basically, because of how brilliant Shanks was, he was like, all right, the One Piece is his. He's the next one.
Yeah.
How brilliant was this kid, you know? So, I mean, I think it is interesting that Shanks, somebody that seemingly has all these traits, all this knowledge, doesn't want the One Piece. And if we use the theory of like what we've been talking about with Elbaf, where like time flows differently there, he was secretly training over there for a while. So like he's 40 in actuality, but like because of the time and how it's flowing over there, it was like he's, you know, he's had way more time and way more experience. Who knows? But I think that's where I am now, Sai. Man with the burn scars is Shanks' propaganda that he created.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm not there yet. Like I said, I think we just need one chapter with like hints for the man with burn scars, and I'll be there. But
Oda could just introduce a brand new character. But it's like,
yeah, he could.
Well, okay, here's the thing. A brand new character coming out of nowhere, knowing all about the poneglyphs, the ability to take the poneglyph and keep it from the strongest people in the verse.
That's a lot to explain.
That's a lot. So it has to be...
That feels like a movie plot.
It feels like... what's his name from Strong? Not Strong World. Stampede.
Oh, Bullet.
It feels like Bullet. It feels like a random guy comes out of nowhere, mad at everybody. Now I'm going to hold the poneglyphs hostage. Even... I just got to say this. Bullet's whole thing pissed me off because his entire thing was about strength, right?
Yeah.
And testing himself.
And he wanted to survive a Buster Call, man. That's like the strongest power in the world. If you survive a Buster Call, my God, you're like, what, God tier, according to Bullet.
Kaido's right there. Go fight Kaido.
Yeah.
Go fight the big crazy lady. Trust me, everybody doesn't want it with the big crazy lady. Go fight Shanks, right? Go fight Shanks.
You're not
Let's
even
see
a
what
swordsman.
Shanks is
Fight
about.
Mihawk. Like,
Just,
yeah, it's crazy when I see that. Like,
Buster Call?
I want to fight the strongest. I want to survive the strongest attack. Time to go initiate a Buster Call. And then you got like 5 vice admirals show up. I was like, okay, yeah, good one.
And
5 vice admirals,
the
cannonballs.
Conveniently, the admirals aren't there. They're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, even fight a Kainu if you want to fight a Marine.
Fight Garp.
Yeah,
you know?
Send Goku. You bring him out of retirement.
For the Buster Call. That's what I got to survive. What?
The Buster Call hype is so crazy to me. I just don't get
it. It's insane. It is useless.
Look at Elbaf, right? Like, if they Buster Call Elbaf, that's not possible. It's too big. Like, they don't have all the cannonballs in the world to blow this place up.
They get destroyed. Like, a Buster Call is, like...
It's doing nothing.
At the end of the day, a Buster Call is for, I think it's pre-time skip hype. Where, like, with the Straw Hats and where they were, it's like, man, they can't survive, like, an entire onslaught from the world government. Now, for a Buster Call, they're, like, gonna laugh in the face of that. They're like, what? Buster Call isn't doing anything?
A Buster Call is bad for a regular island and its civilians, but if you're a pirate that can just leave, and if you don't care about the town, then it's like, it's no big deal. Yeah.
And ultimately, when you're going against somebody like the Straw Hats, with the destructive power that they now have and the abilities they have, it's just like, unless you have a few admirals with you, which isn't typical for a Buster Call, then it's not gonna be anything. Like, Luffy can literally just turn into a giant mitt and throw them all back at all the ships. Zoro can cut the ships in half.
Kaido can blast the ships with the bolo breath and fly around.
Jinbei can do whatever he does in the water with the ships. It's just like, no, it doesn't work. Like, and Big Mom, you try to Buster Call Big Mom.
Good luck, dude. Toto Land is like a fortress.
First of all, you got to travel to get there, and then you're in there. And it takes a while to get out. No, you're not. I'm sorry. You're SOL. So like, no.
Do you think Buster Calls will get upgraded in the end? Like maybe like a new cannonball, maybe a new battleship, flying ships. Ooh, flying ships would be crazy, right?
Here's what you'd have to do. A Buster Call would have to include a few Seraphim that have anti abilities for like the strongest pirates on the island. You see what I mean? Like it's a catered Buster Call.
Yeah.
Where I can see if, we go past the One Piece story and then it's like, oh, it's a new type of Buster Call where like these Seraphim are programmed to stop the strongest pirates on the island, So it's just like, you have like an anti-Mochi Seraphim or something that
just nullify
go against Katakuri, nullify Katakuri's Mochi or whatever for Big Mom, about her weakness. It's just it's like it has to be more thought than just like, let's just send a bunch of guys and cannonballs and let's see what happens. Like, no. You need to be a lot more research and know what you're doing, knowing who you're going up against. I think that has to be it. But
Yeah, plus an admiral, in my opinion. Just one admiral.
It's-
Like,
I mean,
imagine
yeah.
Fujitoro's bringing down meteors, Akainu hits you with flying lava fists, Aokiji freezes the lake so you can't escape. Like, we need one of them to make a Buster Call threatening, at the bare minimum. 5
it's
VAs
so
is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's so crazy that how Oda built up the admirals, because the admirals are really strong, and how he didn't really do that for the vice admirals. Like, we don't care about them
Yeah.
at all.
We skipped a tier for sure. Like, I remember back pre-time skip, you know, Smoker, a captain, was giving us a lot of trouble because we didn't have haki. And then we
Yeah.
see other captains that also give us trouble, like Hina, for example. We can't really do anything about her cages. We had to sacrifice Bon Clay. And then we get here to post-time skip, and we kind of just skip past the VAs. Like we
Yeah.
had captains, VAs, and then admirals, but we just skipped over the VAs, and we're now, like, the admirals are the main focus. And I
Who's the
understand
most
because there's so
impressive
many
vice
VAs,
admiral?
but my God.
Who's the most impressive vice admiral for you outside of Garp?
Outside of Garp, I would say maybe Doberman.
I'm not gonna lie, the most impressive one so far for me, probably Virgo.
The Virgo doesn't count. He's a pirate. That guy does not count. That guy was a monster. Full
Virgo
body
was
armament
Virgo
haki
was
was
amazing,
nuts.
bro. Virgo was insane. Like,
Do you remember reading that chapter and then everybody was saying that eventually Luffy's gonna be just like that, and like all, like, you know, Zoro, Sanji, and all of them, everybody who has armament haki, they're all gonna be
Full body.
like, yeah, full body armament haki. That was
Yeah, I remember
cursed.
full body was the thing until Law cut him in half, and then full body happened again in Dressrosa. Then Pika lost, and so like then full body just lost all of his hype. All of his hype just went away in like 2 arcs. But it's funny because what dispelled that notion as well was that Doflamingo didn't use it. So Pika used it, Virgo used it, Doflamingo never used it. But what Doflamingo did was he had focus haki in different spots. So like Luffy be attacking him, and he'd have haki on like his coat, which was cool. Then he put
Yeah.
haki on his forehead when Luffy tried to headbutt him. It's like he was just really, you can tell, like, okay, why would this guy who's clearly more skilled than them not use full body? It's just like, okay, that's
a waste of
that's just
energy.
not the way to go. It's a waste. Just like focus it in somewhere else, like kind of Hunter x Hunter a little bit. So you know, it was hype at one point, and it lost all its hype.
Didn't Douglas Bullet do that?
Yes,
Yeah, Douglas
did.
Bullet had like crazy blue haki.
I believe he had full body hockey. And that's why,
probably why
if
he
anybody
lost.
uses full body hockey, it tells. I think what's his name had it too.
Yeah, why is he blue?
What's his name had it? Didn't Bondi World have it?
Brundy World. Did he have full body? I know he had hockey, but I don't think he had full body. Brundy World hockey body.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. You're right.
Yeah,
And that was before they did like the purple, so he was all black.
yeah, yeah.
It's cool that they have different colors. So like if Luffy did it, for example, he'd probably be like all red.
Yeah, probably red.
Yeah, like a red
focus.
steel color.
Luffy go Zoro be green, Sanji kind of orange or yellow.
I'll admit, Brundy World was a great fight. Underrated.
I like Bondi
OVA.
World. I really liked his devil fruit, the Momoa.
Yeah, I liked his backstory was really good too. Like, hey,
Bondi
like
World's cool.
you guys had 40 years to get over this trauma, but for me it was just yesterday. I'm still
Yeah.
mad. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
like-
sense, dude.
I like Bondi World. I thought
Yeah.
he was pretty cool. The more know me. He increased the speed and size of any objects he touches, up to 100 times the object's original parameters. That's
Brundy
crazy.
World, he was also putting hype on the Buster Call name because his giant ultimate attack was just a big cannonball.
But if it's a big cannonball and you make it go 100 times as fast, it's like a meteor.
Yeah, would you say who would win, a Buster Call or Brundy World's cannon?
Give me Bondi World. If it's you,
Isn't
like,
it Brindy World or something? What you calling him Bondi World? Is that it?
I'm sure it's Bondi World.
I don't think so. Let me see.
Think it's Brindy World?
Yeah, it's spelled Brindy World.
Yeah, it's spelled Brindy. But it's Bond. Like, let's listen to it. Listen to like
Oh, you're right. Bondi World. Yeah, the spelling is effed up. What are you doing,
it's
man? 3D2Y people change his name up a little bit.
yeah, it's like BYRNN. Yeah,
Oh, he has a bounty. I don't even know.
500.
Yeah, 500 million. Oh, that's not bad.
No,
pretty
that's
good.
when 500 was it. You know, you're really
Yeah.
hyped for 500.
That's respectable.
Nah, that's really respectful. I love Bondi, man. That's my guy.
Do you think Bondi World would beat the Don Quixote Pirates minus Doflamingo? I think he could
Well,
run the gauntlet, to be honest.
Yeah, he should be able
Minus
to.
Dofi, yeah.
Yeah, he should be able to. I think that is his toughest test like Mock Vice, you know, where Oda makes it a thing where like they both are doing 100 times.
Ooh, yeah, Mock Vice would that's an extreme diff fight. I mean, dude, Haruden, the Prince of Elbaf, almost lost to that guy.
Yeah, so
My
I think
God.
Oda would. It's like certain fights that Oda just make a joke. It's like, I'm 100 times cannonball. Well, here's my 100 times fist. It's like something
I mean, I'm gonna
stupid
be
like
honest.
that.
I would just avoid fighting Mach Vice. Just let him fall to the ground and hurt himself.
Yeah, Mock Vice is not somebody I want to fight.
Yeah. He has
Feels like it'd just be
you know,
unnecessarily annoying. Honestly,
make
all
fun
of
of him, but he's
Dofi's
strong.
family, they're like just annoying, just super annoying abilities. But
Like the
Baby
pop.
Five, Gladius, Trable, like how do you, what's the name? Diamante with a flag. Like what?
Even Lao
What were
Ji,
these choices?
he doesn't even have a devil fruit, but he's like he's somebody you underestimate because you think he's dying, and then the next minute he's like full power master Roshi. It's like, yeah, they're like they're a bunch of like goofy fights. Which I would say this, he has a good crew. Dofi has a really good and unique crew. I don't
It's
like them,
unique.
but yeah, they're really unique. They're kind
I
of like
like a
Straw Hats in a
couple.
way. They're all different.
Different, quirky. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about them is that they're unique. They have just all these random things about them, like Dillinger wearing heels. Like, what is going on with that?
Never
Baby,
explained.
Senior Pink in diapers. It's just like they're just like this weird bunch. You have Pika with like the voice. So it's just like you can see them. If we had like a, I don't know, like an OVA with the Doflamingo Pirates and just like learning more about them, I'm sure we'd like love them just because they remind us of the Straw Hats, but they're fucking evil.
Yeah, like imagine we have a day-to-day series where we see them just like hanging out, drinking coffee, like, hey, you know, Baby Five.
Trying to fucking kill Doflamingo.
Yeah, how's your day going? I was about to say, I picked like the worst person.
You know what's funny though?
What's up?
This made me think of something. Like, have you seen Dragon Ball?
Oh, like the OG series?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, so there's like a character in Dragon Ball that like it's like a running gag that when she sneezes, she turns into like the evil version of
Launch.
herself. Launch.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like tries to kill everyone. Like especially Master Roshi, because he's a pervert. And so she pulls out a gun and she tries to kill everyone in like every damn episode. So I'm like, was Oda using Doflamingo's family to kind of reference like that group with Roshi, with Lauji and Launch and Baby Five?
I could see that.
You know, the squeak, funny enough, Puar had a very squeaky voice in the anime. And then Pika has like a very squeaky voice. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if like that was
Diamante
like,
could be the world tournament announcer.
Diamante.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so.
because Diamante whips out like the microphone and he like
Yeah.
screams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could see that.
Maybe I gotta go back through it and see like
Who would Treble be?
other connections. So they had Tien, Krillin, Yamcha,
Yeah, I don't think there's like a Treble type character.
Chaozu, Bulma. Who would Jola be? Could
She
be
kind of
like
looks
some
like
inspiration.
Baba.
Maybe.
Yeah, she kind of looks
Could
like
be
Baba.
Baba. I forgot about Baba. But no, I think that's interesting. Love Doflamingo's family. But
Good family.
good chapter.
Not bad. Saul, right? Love
Yeah,
that
I
dude,
mean,
man.
it's-
Oh God, I almost cried.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of, again, I think if it wasn't as telegraphed, it definitely would have got me. But it did definitely it choked me up a little bit, you know? when I
yeah.
got it. And I like seeing Robin happy. And so that's cool that she got the focus. Oda got right to it. It's over now. And so on to the next thing.
Yeah, on to Saul's explanation or the party. I don't think he's gonna explain like what he's been doing because Robin even says, "Hey, let's not focus on the negatives." So
But what's going to happen is, I expect next chapter is going to be another part. Like you go to the party and there's going to be like some downtime, you know,
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
where maybe like after everybody's passed out or something, you know, they drink and then they pass out for a while. He starts talking to Robin about like what's been going on. And then, you know, of course, maybe somebody else is up overhearing it. I don't know. But like, I think we probably get an explanation or we go away to your boy,
Bellamy.
Eustace.
Okay, Eustace is not my boy. You're the one with like 10 videos on why Eustace Kid's gonna be the biggest threat on Elbaf. But yeah, go off. Maybe Eustace comes back. I agree with you though. I think we'll have the feast. I think there'll be downtime, and that's where we'll get the Saul thing. We'll get maybe some Loki stuff because you know Loki stuff is like bar talk, right? Hey, we put that guy down. He's a menace. Like I can see them like hyping him up a little bit. It
Is there
reminds
one
me
thing?
of Fishman Island.
Oh, I can see Saul saying one thing we can never do. You can never set Loki free.
That'll be
And then-
crazy. And then Luffy starts whistling in the background.
Luffy's like,
oh, shit.
He's like, oh, why would anybody want to do that?
You know what's
And then
funny?
they look at Luffy.
Dude, I feel like other people here on Elbaf would know where Shanks is going and what he's been up to more than Loki. Like, if he just asked Dory and Brogy, would he not just get more information, if not the same? Because they were with Shanks.
If who asked Dorian Brogy?
Luffy.
Oh, yeah?
Like would Loki know more than your average giant? Because he's tied to a tree. I'm assuming the other giants know more about Shanks than him. I mean,
but during Brookie, they were isolated for a while, you know? Like
true,
they were just
true.
I would say,
but like Saul, for example. Like Saul's been here for 22 years. I'm sure he knows everybody who comes through this island.
But with Loki, could it be that he has connections in outside of Elbaf, you know?
True. Like his gas mask people are getting info for him.
Yeah, so he's just like he's getting peddled information that Saul wouldn't care about, or Dorian Broggie, they just care about fighting and drinking. And where Loki is one of those giants that has actual agency.
Okay,
you know, like,
I like
the
that.
other giants feel like NPCs. Like, no, it's about honor and code and fighting. Let's drink.
There's another, face to this as well, where maybe Loki, because the biggest theory right now is that Shanks beat Loki and that's how he became an emperor and all that stuff. So maybe like that's what Luffy's looking for. Like, oh, how does Shanks fight? Like, how did he beat you? What did he do? So I could see that too.
I wouldn't want that though. I mean, if Luffy asking for it is, again, it's so weird for Luffy doing something for more information on somebody, considering just how he doesn't really care about information normally. And he's just like, I'll figure it out. I'll just want to travel and enjoy the journey. And it's like, so now to kind of not be held hostage, but to be like, I guess I can do that.
What does he want to learn, right? Like
what do you want to learn?
Does he want to know where Shanks is going, how he fights, what his favorite snack is? I don't know.
I doubt it would be like fights. I think it'd be a situation of what has he been doing? Like, and I can see Loki painting him as maybe a bad guy. Like
lying some more?
Yeah, and Luffy's not going to buy it, obviously. So we may get some dark Shanks lore that may lean to where people, speculate that he's evil and that he really wants the One Piece for himself.
He's actually killed 1,000 people here in Elbaf.
I mean, I don't know, bro. That'd be such a jump. That'd be such a jump. Like, I don't believe it.
About Shanks' twin brother.
Stabs.
Stabs. He sometimes comes here and we confuse them.
I hope the twin brother thing, I hope that's not a thing. Maybe you can have like a cousin that like they have the same hair. Twin brother, and that was a guy who was one of the No. But either way, it's gonna be interesting. Every time Shanks is involved, it's interesting. But yeah, good chapter. Can't wait for the next one. Not sure when it's coming, but it will be coming sometime. I think it's soon.
It's next week, right? Yeah, it's next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then after that, I think there's a break, but we'll see.
Something as well, real quick. Frankie's voice actor.
Oh yeah, he stepped down.
I'm not sure if I told you about it, but I want to say for like the last year, I've been not complaining, but I've been.
He has not sounded
worried about Frankie's voice acting. I'm just like, something is going on. He sounded like he was because you can almost tell that that's not his normal voice.
Yeah.
And he's forcing it a little bit with it that way. And so it's just like, it got to a point where you can feel him forcing it. And so I commend him for going this long for like the past year and a half. It's just like, it has not sounded right. I think that's a big deal considering just like how unique Frankie's voice is. And once you hear it, you can be like, man, that's Frankie. So to replace it now, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I hope
hopefully he's not like. Apparently they're going to announce it really soon, right?
Yeah, they're going to announce it at Jump Festa. That's going to be a good day.
Makes sense. Any ideas who you think it could be? Any voice?
I'm not familiar with Japanese voice actors, so I can't really say.
I'm not familiar with the names, but like maybe some characters.
Yeah, I mean, if he gave his blessings to the new voice actor, I feel like that's all we need. And then we also have to get used to new voice actors as well, since the One Piece remake by Wit Studios, that's going to have all new characters and new voice actors in general. So
somebody was saying
that's
something
we're gonna have to get together with.
I wasn't sure if it was true, but they're saying that this I guess the voice actor that they're going to have, what were they saying? They were saying something about Frankie. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. I got to go back and look at it. But it was saying something about the voice actor. I was like, this doesn't even make sense. I'll go back and look at it. But
yeah.
Either way, happy for him. Hopefully he gets, rest and that
he takes care of himself, man.
He should be set for life, right? He should be set for life at this point. Obviously he's not going to be voice acting anymore if he's stepping down from the Frankie role. So, shout out to him. And,
shout out to Frankie, man.
Thank you for all the years, man.
Yeah, thank you for all the years. Take care of yourself.
I really liked.
My God, like he's getting skinny. He's getting old. I think he should have retired many years ago. One Piece is just so long, dude.
He's like 70, right?
Yeah.
He's the oldest one, I believe. He's the oldest out of all of them, I believe.
I think so.
If I remember correctly, I believe he's the oldest out of all of them, and so
He's 65.
No.
I think he's still the
what's her
oldest
name?
though. Yeah,
Isn't-
he's the oldest.
How old is Tanaka? Isn't she like 60 something?
Let me see. She is actually not on this page.
She's like 69, no?
Mayumi Tanaka. She was born in 1955. So she's 69. Yeah, so she's older.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Man, I do not know their ages. All I know is that they're up there. All I know is that they're up there.
And she's been killing it on Dandadan too, so shout out to her. She's been fucking
Yeah, she's Turbo Granny.
love it. I love her so much as Turbo Granny. She's amazing. But yeah, so I appreciate you pulling up. Always a pleasure.
Of course,
guys.
man.
Sai's information be in the description down below. Check out Sai and the Sixth Path of Sai. Good stuff on all of the channels. But
Get ready for the fast minute.
I don't know if they're ready, man. I don't know if
They're
ready.
not. You're not ready for that one.
Introduce you guys to Minute, but yeah. Talk to you guys soon.
Peace out, y'all.